Okay, hello, this is question 8, I think it is. Yeah, it's question 8. Okay, so let's make a start. Now, you might want to do this at double speed. I'm going to take my time. Right, it might be a good idea as well if you do things in binary, but we'll see how it goes. Right, so first question, first instruction is load R1 130. Now, if you put 130 in there, you're going to be wrong straight away and the whole thing's never going to work. So it's load memory location, so that's 83. Now you can write in the binary if you want to, but let's not do that. So we put 0 into R2, next line, that one, and 0 into R4. Now, just by doing that, we get 1 mark. Okay, so that's good, good start. Now we're into this repeat label, so we go past that. So we add 1 to R2 to make it 1. And then this line, we add 1 to R1 and store the result in R3, so that becomes 84. No, I made a mistake there. Sorry, that's not and, is it? That's an and instruction. Now, so we're anding R3 with R1 with R3. Now this is where if you write out in binary, which is 83 is 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 1. Now if you and anything with a 1, so we're going to be doing like, let's just assume that we're anding with like that. So with the 1, let's try again. So if I did that, because I've got a 1, this bit here, I'm going to get a 1 as my answer, and all this is going to be 0. If I was anding it with like that with a 1, I would get 0 because there's no 1 at the end. Now because that 83 is an odd number, you've got a 1 at the end, so that's a quick way of spotting that. Now because of that, we get a 1 there. Okay, so that was the and instruction, which I misread as an add. Be careful, don't be stupid like me. All right, because we've got an odd number, we've got a 1 there, we and it with a 1, we're going to get a 1. Right, so next instruction is we're going to do the compare. So we compare R3 with 0. It's not 0, so we don't BQ zip. So we just come down to here and add. That's an add instruction, not an and. So we add 1 to R4 to make it 1. Now, I believe we have another mark, so that's good. So we've just done that one, so we can relax now. Now, next one is logical shift right, R1 by 1. Now, if you shift something to the right, okay, that is going that way. So let's imagine we had 5 there. We shift it to the right, so it becomes 0, 0, 1, 0, so 5 becomes 2. So dividing it by 2. So 83 divided by 2 is, I think everyone would agree, is 41. Now, I could have put the 41 there, but the mark scheme puts it there, and that's fine. Okay, so that's an odd number, so just be aware of that. Now we compare now R2 with 7. Okay, it's not 7, so it'd be, we jump BNE repeat. So well, it's not equal to 7, we jump to repeat. So repeat is up there, so we jump back up to there. I'll just get rid of these so I know where we are. Now the advantage of doing it on here is the fact that you can rub out easy. Right, so we do the same thing again. So we add 1 to R2 to make it 2. Now I'm going to do that here. Then we and R3, sorry, and R1 with 1, and we should get a 1 again because it's an odd number, so that's fine. And then we compare R3 with 0. It's not 0, so we don't BEQ zip, and we just add 1 to R4 to make it 2. So we should have 2, 1, 2 there. Don't get any marks there. Okay. Okay. Good. Right. So we added that. Then we're down to the skip. Hit down here. So we logical shift right R1 again. So that becomes, we halve that again. So it becomes 20. So remember, it's integer division. Interestingly, it's an even number now. And we compare R2 with 7. It's not 7. R2 is 2, remember. And then we jump back up to repeat again. So that's good. So that's good. It's just repeating stuff we've already done. So first thing we do is we add 1 to R2 to make it 3. Okay, and then we AND R1 with 1 to give us 0 this time, because we're ANDing it with 0. So these were ANDs over here, weren't they? Okay, so we get 0 this time. So we compare R3 with 0. It is 0, so we BEQ zip, skip. So this time we skip over the add there, and we just do the logical shift right. So again, we logical shift right again, so that becomes 10. Okay, and then we compare R2 with 7. R2 is not 7, so that's okay. So we bin here, repeat again. So we're back up to the top again. So we just got 10 there. Right, so we add 1 to R2 to make it 4. We AND R1, and this time again it's 0. So that's where the 0 comes in again, because it's an even number. We BEQ skip, so we skip over to there. We logical shift like that again to make it 5. Okay, that's good. And is R1 7? No, so we jump back up again. Right, so we add 1 to R2 to make it 5. We AND R1 again. Now this time we get a 1 because it's an odd number, so we get a 1 there. And then we compare R3 with 0. If it is 0, we skip, we don't skip, so we add 1 to R4 this time to make it 3. There we go. Okay, then we okay, that's fine. Yeah, I only lost where I was then, so we added 1 to R4, that's right. So we're now on this line now. LSR, so we logical shift right again, so that becomes 2. No, for them wrong. That's right. So if, yeah, so that becomes 3, 5, 1, 3. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sorry, I was absolutely right. So we come down here, logical shift right, that becomes 2. We compare it with R2 with 7. It's not, it's 5. So we jump back up again. We add 1 to R2 to make it 6. We AND R3 to give us 0. Okay. We compare it with 0. If it is 0, we skip, jump down to there, and we logical shift right again. So that becomes 1 this time. And we compare R2 with 7. No, it's not, it's 6. So we jump back up another time. We add 1 to R2 to make it 7. Right, okay, we're looking good. Now, so we AND R1 with 1. It is 1. Yep. Okay, and then what happened now is, yep, so we added R1, compare R3 with 0. It's not 0, so we don't jump to skip, so we add 1 to R4 to make it 4. Oh, come on, what are you doing over there? So that becomes 4. It's nice. Right, so we got 4 in there now. Yep, and then we logical shift right again, so that becomes 0. Okay, and then we compare R2 with 7. Now, it is 7, so we don't jump anymore. So we load R1 now with 130 contents, which is 83. Again, we AND R4 with 1. Now R4 with 1, we should get 0, and we're storing the result in there. Okay, so we've done that line. We compare R4 with 0. It is 0. So if it's not equal, we jump to else. But because it is, we OR R1 with 128. Okay. Now we OR R1 with 128. Now R1 is currently, so we'll have to do the maths here. Well, we'll do, just work it out. So 83 is 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. Now, so that's equal to 83, and we're going to add that with 128. So 0, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. Okay, right. No, we're not. We're going to OR it, sorry. Okay, so that gives us 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1. Okay, now that is equal to 211. So we can put that in there then. So it's 211 or 0, what 0 is it? So it's 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. Nice. So then we do the OR, then we B end, and we store R1 at 130. So we store that now at 130, so we can just put 211 in there, or the binary. And there we go, that's it. That is, as they go, not a bad one. There's been a lot worse than that. Okay, thank you very much.